little goldies, and welcome back to my sanctuary, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a color and gab. As you can see, we have our book in front of us today. So this is going to be a color and gab, and we're going to be doing a picture for the Stephanie Ray Memorial Color Along that I am hosting for January. I was hoping to have a couple of episodes of this up. I filmed a few things, but and I have a little bit of explaining to do. So I filmed a few things, but the footage was basically unusable. I was coloring with PanPastels, and I think the way I had my camera, because I positioned it a little bit differently, the way I had my camera, the footage was just basically unusable because my head was in the way just way too much. I always do the warning about my head being in the way when I'm actually coloring on camera with you guys because of the visual impairment, but the way I had it set up, I guess, this time, and the way I was kind of looking at the picture, it just was not very, I couldn't use it because like 90% of the time you just saw the back of my head. So I felt like that it was just something I couldn't put up. However, I did finish up a picture in Flowers and Gems. This is Flowers and Gems, and this is what we're going to be coloring in today. So let me show you what we have here that I have actually finished. Now I do need to go back in and finish up her lips and stuff, but I did finish this one up. I actually started it on camera, but like I said, the footage was just basically totally unusable. I couldn't do it. So I did finish it up. It took me about a week to do, maybe a little bit longer. I started this like right after I got my PanPastels, and this, you know, like I said, took me a week, maybe a little bit over. I used a combination of PanPastels plus Polychromos pencils over it. I think she turned out really nice. This was a bit more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. I thought this one was going to be, you know, relatively easy, but there's a lot of little details in there that I kind of ran across as I was coloring. So this was more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be, but it's done, and I think she turned out pretty darn good. Not too bad, you know. There's a few little things that I probably could have fixed up, but I think she turned out pretty good, and this honestly was a labor of love, you know, because this is for Stephanie's Color Along. I really did want to do it justice, and so this really was a labor of love. It took me a really long time to do, but I think it was worth it. I think she turned out very nice in the end. So that is one of my pictures for Stephanie's Color Along, and we're going to be doing, what's the other picture I have in here that I marked that we're going to do? We're going to do this picture just right on the next page from where we were. So this is the picture I did, and then we're going to go ahead and do this picture here. And I'm going to use PanPastels for this. I'll probably go over it with some pencils for highlights and stuff. But so this is going to be doing a lot with skin tone and stuff. And probably for like the little details, I'm going to use like you know, some pastel pencils on this. So we'll probably do that like a little bit last. I'll probably do that like off camera. It looks like there's like a bunch of pearls and stuff, so I may just put stickles on that just to make it look metallic, and then of course her earrings and stuff. But we're gonna do the skin tone and her hair with pastel pencils with possibly some color pencils over the top for shading and highlights and whatnot. So I do want to go ahead and show this to you guys on camera. I do want to do this with you guys on camera, and I'm hoping to just kind of make it so that my head isn't going to be in the way too much. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I have my full set of PanPastels, and I'm going to just kind of position things a little bit so that hopefully we can see a lot more. And I'm going to zoom in just a bit, so that we can hopefully see. All right, so let me grab, now what I have here is I got a wet paper towel, so in case I need to clean off my fingers. I got like a couple of scrap pieces of paper here to clean, you know, to clean things off if I need to. Plus I got like a little napkin paper towel kind of thing to clean off the tools. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing, and we're going to be grabbing this top tray of pastels here, and this is what I'm going to use for her skin tone. We're going to go into like the burnt sienna tones right there, and because I think that'll make for a nice skin tone. So let's go ahead and take the lid off of this one. I have not, this is like the set of the grays and neutral colors. I've not used these yet. I've used some other colors in this, but this, I did get the full set of PanPastels for my birthday. So I have used them quite a bit. I have been just in love with these. I love them so much. I'm not gonna lie, I love them so much. And yeah, I have really just been using them so much in other things. So now you're gonna notice that in the pans here, it is easy to get the pans out of the little palette like so. You can get them out of the little palette like so. And this one we're going to go with, let me just kind of show you how this this is set up. So you have your color families here like this. Like this is burnt sienna tint. Let me show you that. This is burnt sienna tint. Now this is the burnt siennas like over here on this on this aisle here, and they have it set up so you get like the lighter shade. Like this is the tint, this is the pure color, I think, the pure color, and then this is the shade, and then this is the extra dark. So you get like the tint. Let me kind of explain how this works. So the tint is like the color plus like a white added to it to lighten it up. This is the pure color right here. So this is the actual like pure color of burnt sienna. The one above it is the shade, which they've added black to it to darken it up. And then this is like extra dark up there. So, you know, if you need more, then if you need more darkness, then you got that too. And they do that with like with all of the color families, you know, so that kind of helps out a lot. But you can take them out of the palette to, you can take it out of the palette to arrange it however you like. If you don't like that arrangement, then you can do it however you want to. If you don't like that arrangement, you can do it however you want to. But I kind of like how it's arranged, so I'm gonna be keeping it that way. All right, I'm going to zoom in just a bit so that we can hopefully see. And let me just pull this camera up just a little bit right there. So just to do my warning, like I always do, I am coloring with the visual impairment, which means that I do have to get close to the work. So, you know, please bear that in mind. I try to keep my head out of the way as much as possible, but you are going to be seeing it quite a bit. So I'm going to be taking this tool. This is for working on the face, I'm going to take this tool. Okay, this is the precision tool, and you're going to see that it looks dirty, but I actually did clean it off. You can actually wash these tools. And let me just kind of show you, oops, I get my fingers in the pastels here. So let me just kind of show you, you do get the tools that go along with this. This is soft tools, S-O-F-F-T, soft. And then there's just, you know, different tools and stuff that you can work with. Now this is a precision tool, which you can get into the smaller spaces and stuff, but when I'm doing skin tones like on the face, I like to use this tool. So you're gonna see that it does have stuff on the, that it does look like there's stuff on it, which is true because I have used it. However, I did wipe it off, I did clean it off real good. You can wash these things. These are washable, so if you need to, you know, clean them up a little bit more, you can do that. So we're gonna take our burnt sienna tint, and now a little bit of this goes a long way. So you just need, let me just show you, you just need a couple of just little swipes like that. You don't need to dig in, because if you dig in, you're gonna start getting like a lot of dust, and then you're gonna just waste your product, and that's not good. So just a couple of swipes, is gonna do it. So we're gonna go ahead and start on here, and I just kind of like to take it and just kind of spread it downward in this kind of motion. And this is a very light shade. We will go in with the darker shade to kind of do our highlights and stuff. And if you do make a mistake, you can erase it. You can erase it, and and fix it. So anyway, how is everyone doing? How is everybody doing? Let me just make sure that I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit, so that we can see. Okay. I don't want to, okay. So how is everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well. I've had a few videos up on the channel. For those of you that may not know, I did go on a major shopping trip with my good buddy Corey Scherer. Hey Corey, how are you? Did you have to dig yourself out of the snow? Now I'm recording this today is January 23rd, which is a Wednesday. I am recording it today on Wednesday. And so, you know what, I am actually going to, because this is a bigger picture, I'm going to actually get a bigger tool and go over this face. I could just do it with this precision tool, but it will take a long time to do that. So I'm going to put the precision tool aside and I'm going to grab something different. But anyway, so like I said, today is January 23rd, which is a Wednesday, and which is when I am recording this. I went to Galesburg, Illinois. I'm an Illinois gal. I went to Galesburg last Thursday, which was the 17th of January, and I went to Galesburg so that Corey and I could have a lovely shopping trip at the Blick outlet store in Galesburg. I'm gonna take one of these little finger sponges and I'm gonna do it like that. We're gonna go ahead and use one of these little finger sponges, okay? And we'll apply the skin tone that way. I think we'll cover a little bit more area. Okay, so there is my pastel. So, went to Galesburg for a lovely shopping trip with Corey. And if you haven't seen it already, I did actually put up a video of that shopping trip so that you guys can see. So go on my channel and look for that. It is called Shop With Me Vlog. And that is my trip to Galesburg to the Blick outlet as well as Five Below. Corey and I went to Five Below after we got done with the Blick outlet store. So the Blick store there, it's actually a regular Blick store. Like they do have a regular Blick store that you would, like if you've been to a Blick store, then you would see, you would actually see that it is a regular store, but there is a section where there is an outlet, and so you can go into the outlet section. And what the outlet section is, guys, is the outlet section is a place where you can, I may have to use the precision tool to get up by the hairline, but you see how this burnt sienna is covering her skin tone, and I think that's going to look really nice. We'll go in with some darker tones and we'll kind of, you know, add some shading and stuff. But what the outlet section is it's a place, like it's in the regular Blick store. It is in the regular Blick store. However, the outlet is where things have been like returned. Like let's say somebody took something back to Blick because either they didn't like it, they tried it, they didn't like it, or they you know, or like it came defective or something like that. Like, you know, let's say it's a bottom shelf item, you know, that kind of thing. I'm gonna have to go in with the precision tool, I think, and get that. Or it came defective, like a, you know, as in like a bottom shelf item or something, like say that something was missing, it kind of maybe slipped by quality control, and maybe it slipped by quality control or something, and and so they couldn't sell it like for brand new, you know, that kind of thing. So they would you know, they would put it in the outlet, you know, and mark it way down because they couldn't sell it for, you know, brand new. So that's what the outlet store is, and I'm just going to take my precision tool and just kind of go back in and do her ear. Now, if you go over the lines, like I said, you can take an eraser, which I may need to do. I will do that. So, you know, there's stuff, just because you find something in the outlet section like one day doesn't mean that it's going to be there the next day, okay? Because it changes constantly, because it's like stuff that people has either returned, or it's stuff that, you know, maybe there was a defective item, like, you know, something missing, or, you know, like, let's say you find some watercolors, like, real cheap. The tin may be dented up. You know, the watercolor tin may be dented up, and so they will mark it way down. Like, for example, I found a package of Prismacolor Scholars, and I think normally they would sell for about $15, but I found them for $5 because there was some paint that spilled on the packaging. And it wasn't bad, and the pencils were brand new. They were totally okay, but because it spilled on, you know, because there was paint that spilled on that packaging, they could not sell it for full price. They couldn't sell it, you know, as brand new, because, you know, there was something wrong with it. So that found its way in the outlet store. And like I got, if you watched my haul video from the Blick shopping trip, I found a set of Winsor & Newton professional watercolors, which sold for, I think, $190. But because the tin was dented, the top of the tin was very, very dented. I mean, it's still closed. It was still okay, but the lid of the tin was dented. So it, you know, because it was dented, the, you know, they marked it way down. Is that part of her skin there too? I think maybe so. I think that's part of her skin. So that's what happened there. And they had, and then I found a set of 40 Caran d'Ache pastel pencils, and those things normally sell for $190, the 40 set. There is, now I did do some research, and there actually is a 76 set. It seems like they may match up, like, you know, pretty well with the Luminance pencils, I think, from what I've, you know, from what I gather. And I do have the full set of the Luminance pencils, but there is a 76 set of the Caran d'Ache pastel pencils. And now I got the 40 set because that was what was out there at the outlet. Okay, and so I did get that. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the bigger sponge and fill in the bigger area. But like, I got the 40 set, which normally sold for, I think, $190, like, you know, full price. However, they had that set in the outlet section for $50. And I don't know why it was so marked down. I mean, they look totally brand new. It could be that somebody tried them and they decided that they didn't like them for whatever reason. So you know, they look brand new, but they could be like slightly used or something. So you know, that's just the thing. You know, when you're shopping at the outlet, you will often find good deals. Sometimes you can find a good deal, sometimes not. It just, you know, it depends on, I guess, what you're looking for, and it depends on what you're wanting to get, you know. So now I'm just going in with this sponge. I'm going to grab the precision tool again and just kind of go around the jewelry with this. Now, like I said, if you go over the lines and if you get it like in the little pearls, you can go and erase it. I've got my battery-powered eraser, plus I have some kneaded erasers that I got from Blick. And this part, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna try to keep my head out of the way, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, make sure that I'm still in frame there. I'm kind of at the bottom of this picture now, and I'm just trying to get it where I'm not going to get it on the jewelry. But you can see that a little of this just goes a very, very long way. Like so. And we can just kind of blend it out toward the end of the page right there. Okay. Because that would be part of her skin tone there too. Okay. So that looks pretty nice, you know, that now they've got some shading in here already, so you can kind of see that there is some shading right there. But I'm going to go in with some darker tones and just kind of, you know, do a little bit of that shading. And I'll do a little bit of that shading, and we'll work with that, okay? So I'm going to clean off my, now for the shading, I'm still going to use the precision tool, and I will go in and do the darker areas. And I do have, let me show you, I do have the colorless blender. After I got the full set of the PanPastels, I actually did buy the colorless blender. Let me take it out of the bag so that we can look at it. The colorless blender was on Amazon, I think for like $7. A little bit pricey, but you know, these PanPastels are pricey, but they're going to last you a very, very long time. So you do get a lot of bang for your buck. And these are light fast. These are very light fast, so that helps. It means that your stuff isn't going to fade out over time. So here is the colorless blender. Okay, so what this is it's got like the PanPastel formula, and it looks like it's sealed. Let me take off the paper because it came wrapped up. All right, so I'm gonna just put that right there. Whoop, I'm just gonna put that right there, and I'll throw that in the garbage later. But let me show you what this looks like. So this is the colorless blender. It kind of looks a little bit white or off-white, but this is the same formula that you get in the other colors, but there's no color to it. So you can use this to blend out your colors. And what this will do, and what this will do is when you're blending out your colors, it'll kind of soften them up quite a bit there too. So if you want that effect, then that'll help too. So here is our burnt sienna tint, and I'm going to put this back in my palette, and then I'm going to grab my, this is the burnt sienna pigment. This is the pure color. So this says, now if you look on the bottom of the pan, let me show you this. If you look on the bottom of the pan, it's got a number to what the color is. It's got a number, and then it also has your pigment name. So this is burnt sienna. So you can order these open stock. You can order these open stock, and so if you do that, then you know you can just go by the number. You can go by the pigment or the number that's on the pastel itself, or you can look for the pigment name, you know, the color name. And I believe you can get these open stock like at Blick or from the PanPastel website. You can do that. So again, just a couple of swipes is going to go a long way. You don't need very much. And see, I kind of like did it too much, like a little bit. You saw the dust build up a little bit. You want to be careful of that, because if you get that too much, you're just wasting your product, and you don't want to do that. These are just way too pricey to be wasted like that. So I'm going to take, now this is not going to look good right now. However, once I blend it out, it's going to look a lot better. So I'm just taking it and just kind of putting it like over some of the darker areas that we see, like where the shading is. And again, just it goes a long way. A little goes a long way. I'm just going to put some just kind of along her shoulder blade, and I'll take the lighter color and just blend it out when we get done. So I'm just going to take it and I'm just putting it on the darker areas that I see. You can do your own shading if you want to, but this picture has a lot in there for you already. So I know, like I said, this does not look good right now, but once it is blended out, then it will. So I'm going to take some and put it right there underneath her chin. Okay, and just like so, just take it underneath her chin. And then you can also do some like along her neckline, like if you're going to contour. It's almost like putting on makeup, honestly, you know, because like if you kind of go and you can kind of do like the little contour. Also, you know, maybe up here by her earlobe, like so. And along the lines of her nose, like so, just along the lines of her nose, like so. Now I'm going to take the lighter color. I'll go back to the burnt sienna tint, And I don't think I'm going to use a colorless blender on this. I think I'm just going to use the lighter color to, you know, to blend it. Okay. So anyway, like I was saying, and I'm kind of talking about the coloring a little bit, but like I was saying, you know, because I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing with this. So like I was saying, Corey and I had an awesome time at the Blick outlet store. Again, watch the video. Watch the video and you will see that that was the case. So I'm just taking it and just blending this out. Okay. We had an awesome time. See, I went over that line just a little bit so I could take my, I think I'll just use the electric eraser because it's kind of a bigger space that I went out of. So I can just take it and just go over it like that, and it will pick up that color that I didn't want there over the lines. Now you can do this with a kneaded eraser and it won't leave that eraser dust. So we had an awesome time, like I said, at the Blick store and the Blick outlet store in Five Below. It was just such an awesome time. Go back and watch the video and you'll see what an awesome time that we had. You'll see just what an awesome time that we had. So I'm just going to take it and just kind of blend it out like so. I did put up a haul video of the things that I did get. So go back and watch that if you want to do that. What else? What else has been going on? Oh, I did kind of change up my description. If you look in my videos in the description section, I had kind of a long description section. I still do because like I had like all my social media and stuff down there. What you may not see, and I'll just kind of point it out a little bit, is I did have my, and I still have that link in there, but I just kind of changed up the description a little bit. I do have the link to my Sim Stories blog, so if you're in the market to read and if you want to see how I illustrate my stories with my Sims 3 game, you can do that, because I take pictures of the characters and put them in there to illustrate the story. And let's see. Oh, I need to fix up her nose. Also, now I've had this in there for quite a long time, and I don't really mention it too much because, you know, some people may not like it, some do. But there's some people that will share their Amazon wish list, and I do have now my regular wish list. I keep private because it is so unorganized, and I have like just about everything under the sun on that thing. So what I have done with my wish list, and I know that there's people that just kind of like going on Amazon and looking at other people's wish lists to see what kinds of things that they want. So what I've done is I've kept my default wish list to private because, you know, just because, like I said, it is so unorganized. So what I have done is I've made several other wish lists that were topic related. Like I have, if you look in the description section, I have shared my coloring book wish list, my journals wish list, and my art supplies wish list. Okay, so I have done that. And I update that regularly. I do update that regularly because it kind of, it helps me keep organized because, like I said, I go on there and, oh, let's add this to the wish list. Oh, let's add that to the wish list. So it just kind of helps me keep organized because if I go like to my default wish list, like it takes me till doomsday to try to find something. So I have it organized. And so if you're the type of person that likes to just kind of go on and look at other people's wish lists, you can kind of see like what coloring books I'm looking to get and what supplies that I want to add to the collection. And so it's stuff that I will eventually get, you know, it's stuff that I will eventually get, but it's stuff that I have on there. And I put that on there because, you know, that way I don't forget, and that way I can go back and I don't have to like keep punching the stuff in and saying, okay, if I want, like, let's say, the Derwent Pro colors, which I will eventually get. I do want that. I don't have that. That's one set of pencils I don't have, which I've heard that they're very, very nice, but I will eventually get them because I do need to keep up my pencil hoe status, right? So, you know, let's say I want to get those, and instead of me having to like punch it in all the time, then I will go to that wish list, and I'll just, like, when I want to get it or when I can get it, then I will hit the add to cart button, you know, kind of thing. So if you want to look to see what kinds of things that I eventually want to add to the collection when I can, then you can certainly do that. There's links there, and you can look at that. And one of these days you may see it in a haul video. You may see it in a haul video when I am able to get it. I wish I could get everything, but you know, that is like totally unrealistic unless you've got like unlimited money, you know. But eventually, you know, eventually there's things that will be added to my ever-growing collection. So just be on the lookout for that. And like I said, you can go and look at that. I think I'm going to take my burnt sienna pure shade, and I'm just going to or my burnt sienna pure pigment here, and I'm going to go along her hairline and just kind of shade around there a little bit, and I'll come back and I'll blend that in too. So if you're the type of person that likes to just kind of go on and look at wish lists, you know, feel free. I've also got my coffee account listed there too, like my tip jar. I don't mention it too often, but it is there. In case you're interested, it is there. I do have my Amazon affiliate link there. Plus what I do, like in these videos, I do actually will link the supplies that I'm using in a video so that you can just click on the links to get to those if you want. So that is available. And that's that. So that's pretty much how I changed my description up. I try to keep it, even though it kind of gets a little bit, I mean, it gets a little bit long, but I try to keep it as easy to follow as I can. Like, I mean, my Twitter, like my social media stuff is in there, my Instagram stuff is in there, my Facebook group is in there. I should add my Pencil Hoe Club in there too. I do have another Facebook group called the Pencil Hoe Club that I did start, and Shalene has actually been running that for me because, like, I don't get on Facebook as often as I would like. I don't get on there as often as I would like. So she has been taking that and running it for me, you know, so because, you know, we didn't want that to die. So she offered to help me out with that. So thank you, Shalene, for that. And I should go ahead and add that link in the description section so you can join that. And actually, if automatically, like if you're in, I think I have it set up for this, if you're automatically in my coloring group, that's Color with Sharon and Friends, if you're in that, and if you want to join the Pencil Hoe Club, then I think I got it set up to automatically accept you. And there's not many requirements to get into either group. It's just, you know, make sure that you know, obviously I want people interested in coloring in there. You know, I don't allow people in there that's just going to spam it and to, you know, try to sell things. You know, that's not what we're about. And, you know, we don't like debate politics or anything like that. So, you know, we don't do that. But yeah, other than that, you're welcome to join. You're welcome to join the Pencil Hoe Club. And really, let me just kind of get that straight too. To join the Pencil Hoe Club, you don't have to own like every color pencil set known to man. You know, if you have like a few sets, and if you're just enthusiastic about colored pencils, then, you know, then you certainly qualify. You know, you certainly qualify. And, you know, you don't have to own like, you know, 50 pencil sets to, you know, to be accepted or anything like that. You just have to be a colored pencil enthusiast and to enjoy coloring with colored pencils. So, you know, if you feel a little bit intimidated because you may not own, you know, a bunch of color pencil sets, you know, don't feel that way, because it's, you know, that's not the way we operate. You just have to love coloring with colored pencils. That's all there is to it. But I call myself a pencil hoe because I do own a lot of pencil sets. I'm not gonna lie about that. I am not gonna lie about that. So, but you know what? And some people do, some people don't, and that is totally, totally up to you. Totally, totally up to you. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna just blend this out a little bit more. But look at how pretty this is turning out. I'm really, really liking this. Oh my gosh. Like, I like this burnt sienna stuff. Really makes for a really, really nice skin tone. You do get a little bit of fallout with these, but it's not nearly as messy as the pastel sticks. It's not nearly as messy as the pastel sticks. Now I may have to go in with, I'll either go in like with colored pencil and do the gems that way, or go in with like, I may just do those in colored, well, I may just do those in colored pencil or something and then go over it with stickles. I don't know how I'm going to do those. I'm probably going to have to do those off camera because it is kind of little. And I would have to get close to be able to do that. Okay. So there, I think, is her skin tone, and I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go in and probably like put some blush and stuff on her. Oh, I do need to do her lips. And I do need to do her eye. I'll probably go in like with the pastel pencils and do her eyes. And I need to do her eyebrows too. So I'm going to grab, oh, we need some more on the chin here. I think I'm going to grab my darker color too and do like a little bit around here. But yeah, that is what's going on with the description section in my videos. You can look at all that. You can, if you're interested in reading, look at my Sim Stories blogs. If you would like to see what I have on my wish list, they are there. Okay. So I think I'm going to find a little bit of a pink color and maybe put some blush on her. So let me grab another tray of pastels and I will be right back. All right, guys, I'm gonna take this permanent red tint. Looks very, very pink, and we're gonna try to put some blush on this girl. Now I've cleaned off my tool here, so there's no other pigment on there, but like I said, you are going to see that it does look like it's got some stuff on there, but I just wiped it off on the paper towel, and we should be good to go. So I'm just gonna add like a little bit of pink to her cheeks here, and we'll see if we can get that to blend in good. I might actually do this with my, let me just do this with my little sponge. I might be able to get like a bigger area here. We'll just kind of round it out just a little bit here. Just add just a little bit of this pink to her cheeks. And just kind of smooth that out just a little bit. And you can put color on top of color, like layer on top of layer. Just make sure that when you are done with your piece that you do, put a fixative on there. That way your colors don't move. So it's not very dramatic. It's just very subtle. I just want kind of like a softer look, you know, in this area. Just a little bit on the cheeks right there, just like so. And I can always go back in with the skin tone and just kind of go over it a little bit more, like if I find that I got too much pink in there. But actually, I don't think that looks too bad. a little bit on the cheeks right there, just to pink it out a little bit. Okay, so there is her skin tone. Now I'm going to go in, and I think I'm going to grab like the darker red, and we're going to do her lips. Okay. So this one here, let me show you. This one here is the permanent red. This is the pure color, so you can see that that is quite a bit darker. Okay. So I'm just going to clean off my brush. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to take just a little bit of this, and again with my precision tool, and I have to get kind of close. So what you can do is you can go in and you can blend it with your finger, or if you have a stump, you can do it that way as well. I'm just going to pat it on, like so. Kind of just pat it on and just blend it out a little bit. I may have to go in with the, go back around it with some skin tone and kind of cover in those areas. Just gonna, now you could also do this with pastel pencil. And I'm trying to keep my head out of the way, guys. You can see. You can actually go over this with pastel pencils if you don't want to do her lips this way. Okay. But actually, this is not really bad. It really is not that bad. And because it's already got some shading in there for you, it comes off like really, really nice. Now I could take the lighter permanent red and just do like a little bit of highlights in there, or go in there like with some white or something. We'll just kind of pat it on just a little bit more. So let me clean this off. Okay. Before you dip your tools into other colors, make sure that you have it cleaned off pretty well. I mean, if you do mix colors on the pan itself, you can take a clean applicator and wipe it off. So that's not, you know, that's not a big deal. But what I like to do, a little bit of fallout. What I like to do is I like to just make sure that I have my colors kind of clean, you know, kind of cleaned up. So I'm just going to take the lighter color here and just try to go in with a little bit of that highlight right there. Just a little bit of that highlight right there. And then again, you can take your finger and just kind of blend it in. Okay. I'm just gonna go like that. Keep my head out of the way as much as I can. Okay. That looks pretty good, although I do want to take the darker color once again. Just a tad bit of that darker color, and just kind of go back around the edges right there. And I'm just kind of patting it on. Like so. Okay, then I'll take and I'll just kind of bring it back over this way. So yeah, watch my haul video of the things that I got from Blick and Five Below, if you have not done so already. So another thing, I've not really been, except for the shopping trip, tonight, oh, my head's in the way again. Tonight, we were actually supposed to go to a Lions Club meeting, but we've had some really crappy weather, like yesterday and today. So where I was supposed to go, there's like a bunch of ice and stuff. So the guy called me up this morning and said, you know, they're going to be having some low attendance, you know, to the meeting tonight. So he said, you know, because I'm a guest, you know, he said that it would probably be better if I decided to go ahead and come like in February instead of tonight. And also there's a bunch of ice down there and their schools are closed. So I said, that's fine. I said, you know, I can come down in February, not a big deal. And actually, it's not going to hurt my feelings any. It's not going to hurt my feelings any because you know, because I don't like to travel in bad weather if I don't have to. And it was funny because Corey and I were actually talking this morning on Messenger, and she's like, well, it's a good thing it held off until Thursday was over, because she said I would have been one really pissed off lady. And I said, oh yeah, I said, me too. I said, I would have been impossible to live with. But then, like, had we gotten snowed down where she was or whatever, you know, had we gotten snowed down there, she said I could have come over and you know, she has plenty of stuff to play with, so we could have totally colored, you know, and I also had my new books and new pencils and stuff, you know, so we could have made do, you know, had I gotten down there and had the weather gotten bad. But like, if we would have had to cancel or something, that would have been a real disappointment. But I'm so glad that I got to go, and I don't recall the last time I had so much fun, you know, to be honest. I had so much fun. I had so much fun that day. And I know Corey did as well. So anyway, I will not be going to my meeting tonight, which is a-okay by me, because I don't like to go out in this stuff. I really don't. Another thing that I have actually been dealing with, and I'm going to find something for her hair. We're going to find something for her hair. I think I'm going to go with, I think these might be greens. I will be right back, and I'm gonna find something for her hair, and I will be right back, and then I'll continue our discussions. Just give me a minute. All right, guys, I've turned my book around just a little bit, and I think what we're gonna do is we are going to make her a blonde. Okay. So I've got my yellows here. So this, I think what we're gonna use is we're gonna try to make her like a golden blonde or something. So we have our Diary Line yellow tint and our Diary Line yellow, and then we've got like the darker shades of the yellow there. So we're gonna try to achieve a blonde color for her. So anyway, like I was saying, going back to what we were talking about, what's been going on here is that we're having a mess with our internet, and it's been just a long saga, and the saga continues. I'm going to wipe off my fingers just a little bit because they're chalky just a tad. You do get, because I was blending with my fingers a little bit, you do get chalk on them. So it's been just a long, drawn out, long saga. And when I was in Galesburg with Corey, I'm just going to grab the Diary Line yellow, and we're going to go over her hair with this. So when I was in Galesburg with Corey, our internet, well, we noticed it when we got back Thursday night. And I'm going to take this out of the palette so I don't accidentally get the wrong color. So this is Diary Line yellow. This is the pure pigment here. And I'm just going to go over her hair with this. So we noticed it when we got back from Galesburg, and it started to just kind of really crawl along like Friday morning. And I got my video edited of our shopping trip. I got it edited, and I was trying to upload it. I would have had it uploaded like last weekend, but our internet went out, and it happened when when I was actually on the phone with we have AT&T for our internet, and I was on the phone with them on Friday evening it was, and you know, to try to get this straightened out. And when they were doing their testing, because we have like the U-verse phone and all that, because I was doing it on the landline or my home phone. So when they did the testing, it totally quit, like it totally shut off, and totally shut off. And so they said, well, we're gonna have to send a technician out to you. And so they had to call me back on my cell phone because the home line went out, you know, the phone went out. And so I said, well, that's fine and good. I said, but what are we gonna do in the meantime? I said, you know, we're gonna have no internet for the whole weekend. I said, you know, what do you propose that we do? And she's like, well, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am, but we can't do anything until Monday. So we got the technician appointment set up, and I mean, this is like our third. We've had like 3 or 4 technicians out here in the last like 3 to 4 months, and And it's been the same. It's been the same every damn time. And so he came out, and I said, well, why, why did this, why was it crawling along, and why was it totally quitting on me? Why did it totally quit on me Friday evening? And they said, he said sometimes, like when they do their testing, they sometimes accidentally lock up the signal. And I said, and she didn't realize this, the gal that I talked to, she didn't realize that the signal was like locked up. And so basically he's telling me, because like we basically have a lot of stuff, hooked up to our Wi-Fi, which, I mean, I have and I'm not going to say her name because she will go off. I have Lady A hooked up. I have 3 Lady A's hooked up. I have an Apple speaker hooked up. I mean, we got our, we have a couple of security cams hooked up. We have quite a few things hooked up to this Wi-Fi. Now, I did wire in my desktop computer. That's pretty, you guys, and I'll go over that with some darker yellow, just to kind of shade that out a little bit. But that's really pretty. So, let's see, that's a flower right there. I don't want to get in that flower. So basically, he was telling me that we have too much stuff hooked into our Wi-Fi, and it can't handle it. Now, the speed that we have that we can only get out here in Hicksville with AT&T. I could get Comcast, which I will get to in just a minute. So basically, what AT&T can offer us is 18 meg for download speed and 1 meg for upload speed, which in the grand scheme of things, like if you look at other internet companies, that is not very much. That's not very much at all. And this was like after they upgraded to like Uverse, a few years ago. And I don't know, it did okay for a while, but with when I got my smart devices and stuff, it's not doing so well, and it takes so long to upload videos from here, you guys. It really does. It takes so long to upload videos. And so basically, we're not even really getting like what we're paying for. I mean, in a way we are, but in a lot of ways we're not. Because if we turn off the Wi-Fi, like if we turn off the Wi-Fi itself and just have things wired in, like my computer is wired in by Ethernet, if we do that, then it jumps up to what it's supposed to be. However, when we have Wi-Fi enabled, we're only getting like half speeds. So instead of getting like that 15 or 18 or whatever, we're only, like I'm only seeing, I'm lucky if I see like 5 meg for download speed. And I'm only getting like 0.5 for upload speed. So, we're, in a way, we're not even getting what we're paying for. So, it's just bad. It's just really bad, you guys. And it is so annoying. And, I'm about ready to pull my hair out. So, anyway, that is what we have for AT&T, that AT&T can offer where I live. However, like in the next town over in areas, they have speeds of up to like 100 meg for download and like, I think 3 or 4 for upload. But we don't have that. They were actually going to do an upgrade out here, but then they bought out DirecTV and they put the upgrade on hold. So as it is right now, we're kind of screwed. Now, the only other option that we have for this area is Comcast, which I kind of said that I kind of would hate to deal with Comcast because like they pissed me off one time a few years back because like, and you know what, and I think they all do it, like they've all got like their pushy salespeople, but we went into Best Buy one day and they had Comcast had their salespeople out there, and right when you come in the door, I mean, they will accost you. They will just, oh, can we talk to you? I mean, they'll grab you like when you come in the door. Oh, can we talk to you? And so they have their pushy salespeople to, to try to sell you their service. And that just pissed me off because they just didn't know how to take no for an answer. And one of my pet peeves is I hate pushy salespeople. Absolutely just hate pushy salespeople. They drive me so crazy. And I'm taking the darker, this is the Diary Line Yellow shade. And I'm going to fill in with I'm going to fill that in the darker areas of her hair. And then we'll take the regular color and we'll blend it out. Maybe we'll actually take the tint and blend it out, or maybe just the regular color and blend it out. So I hate pushy salespeople. They drive me so freaking bananas. They drive me so freaking bananas. So I told my husband, I said, I will not deal with Comcast unless I totally have to. And, well, actually at the time I said, I will never deal with Comcast. Never, never deal with Comcast. However, in my area here where I'm at, they do offer higher internet speeds. Like they offer, I think, up to 100 megs for download and up to 5 megs for upload. And yeah, they're expensive. They're quite a bit more expensive than what we're gonna, than what we actually pay for our internet right now. They are quite a bit more expensive, but I'm to the point where I just want some better service. I want some internet that can, I want some better internet that can handle, what I need it to do. And what I've got right now, it can't really handle it. It really can't handle things. And I'm just so frustrated right now. I'm so frustrated right now. And my husband, like, we don't make these decisions, unless we talk about it together. Like, I'm not gonna sign up for, say, Comcast unless we both agree to it, because because a lot of arguments, start that way. So we have to, I feel that we both have to kind of agree to to a change like this. And so, but the thing of it is with my husband is he doesn't like to rush into things, which I get. I totally understand that. You don't like to rush into things. You want to make the best informed decision possible, before you actually get into something that you may not, that turns out worse than what you had before. And, we don't want to do that. We want to try to avoid that as much as possible. So, we've kind of been talking about it. We've not come to any conclusions yet. But what we're trying to figure out now, because like he likes to try to fathom things out before we actually make any kind of decision about that. So he kind of annoys me at times. I will admit this. He kind of annoys me at times because, and I mean no disrespect, but because he kind of hem-haws around, as far as like making a decision at times, because, I mean, I get it, because like he doesn't want to make an uninformed decision. I totally get it. And, when you're committing to something like that, you want to be sure that, that it's going to be what you want, right? But I'm the type of person, and I guess this is kind of where we balance each other out a little bit. I'm the type of person that if I'm unhappy with something, like if I am totally unhappy with something, which I am right now with this internet, it's driving me bonkers. I want to switch. Like I'm totally, right now, I totally want to switch because AT&T just can't give us what we need. However, my husband, the dear soul that he is, he got a hold of this app. It's like an AT&T smart home manager, I guess. So he got a hold of this app, and he's going through it. Like, we log onto it. We're trying to go through it and to see like what we have actually hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and to try to figure out like what is taking most of the bandwidth, for the internet. So we are trying to figure that out. Look at her hair. That is looking really pretty, you guys. Oh my gosh, that is really looking nice. So we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure that out. So, you know, he wants to know like everything we need to know, which I can understand. But at the same time, you know, I'm the one that uploads videos. I'm the one that can't live stream because of, you know, because it's just too slow to do it. You know, I'm the one that's kind of dealing with all this. Oh, I mean, you know, he'll use the internet, you know, when he's here. But, you know, I'm the one kind of dealing with all this, you know, right now. And it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. So, he's kind of him-hawing around about things, and he's trying to, you know, the engineer in him, because he is an engineer by trade, he is trying to figure out, you know, what could be causing the problem, like with the bandwidth. Which I can understand. However, at the same time, it's annoying to me because I'm like, all right, let's just switch already. You know what? Let's just forget it. Let's just switch already, because I'm just so frustrated. I am so frustrated. But yeah, so that is our internet woes. Basically, they're telling us that it cannot handle everything that we're trying to do with it. Which in that case, you know, they're either going to, because they're going to run, I think they're going to run into this more and more, like with other people when they get like, you know, when these smart devices and stuff become even more popular, they're gonna run into this kind of stuff more and more, where what they have is not going to meet the demand of what people want and need. And so they really need to, if they want to keep their customers, AT&T really needs to get it together and make these necessary upgrades. You get it more in the bigger cities, I guess, which is understandable, but, you know, hey, people out here where I'm at need internet too. They need decent internet as well. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So John is off to a meeting right now, so I am home alone with the boys. So he said that when he gets back, he's going to try to tackle this AT&T stuff. But yeah, we're trying to figure out. We're just trying to figure things out. I think our contract with AT&T is up in February, so we're, you know, it's something that we're thinking about. So yeah, at this stage in the game, now I've never tried to stream like over my cell service or anything, which it may do, but so I don't know. I don't know what's going to be happening, you guys. I really don't. So just have to bear with me with my internet issues, and I'll just keep making the videos like I'm making them now. I do want to get back into live streaming because I know that you guys enjoyed the flip throughs that I did every Tuesday when I was streaming. So I may try it with my cell service and see if maybe I can do that. You know, just totally turn the phone off, totally turn the Wi-Fi off on the phone and try it that way, because I always streamed, you know, from my phone. And as it is right now, it seems like my cellular service is faster than the internet that we have here. Because, like, there's been times that I've been using my phone as a hotspot, because I do have a personal hotspot enabled on my phone, which does help. That's what we had to use, like, when our internet was totally down over the weekend. My husband has a hotspot on his phone, and I have one on mine. So that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing. But yeah. So we're hanging in there, or I'm trying to. I may get gray hairs before it's all said and done. Actually, I kind of am getting gray hair. Like, I went to my hairdresser one time, and she's like, "You're getting gray hairs." I'm like, yeah, I guess. But actually, a lot of people tell me that I look a lot younger than I really am, which is kind of cool. I don't get carded very often, like when I order like if I go to a place and I want like wine or beer or something, I don't get carded too much. But now our grocery store, they have a policy that if you buy any kind of alcohol, no matter how old you are, they card you. They will card you no matter how old you are. They will card you. All right, so that I think is her hair. I'm gonna see what we can do with these flowers. I'll grab some more PanPastels. Maybe we'll do some blue flowers. I don't know. I think maybe we'll do some blue flowers. So let me grab some more pastels and I shall be right back. Okay guys, so for the flowers, we're going to be using these ultramarine blues. This is the ultramarine tint, and I'm just going to go over, the whole flower. There it is, the whole flower with this, and then we'll do some shading with the ultramarine pure color. And I'm going to just make sure that I have my tool cleaned off, because I think for the flower I'm still going to do the precision tool. And I could get a different tip for this. But I think as long as I clean this off like really good, it will work. So yeah, that is my whole internet story. Now I will say, my poor husband, as annoyed that I get with him at times like this, you know, like I said, when I said he was a dear soul, I was not being sarcastic. He puts up with a lot from me. The poor guy, he puts up with a lot from me, because I will say, you know, with me being visually impaired, I cannot drive myself. So he has to be my taxi service. He has to be my chauffeur. So this trip to Galesburg, you know, to the Blick store, this definitely was not in his wheelhouse. Like, he would have much rather had been someplace else. But it would have been impossible for me to go, you know, if he wasn't there to drive me. So I greatly am very fortunate for that. So, you know, I am very grateful and fortunate for that. And I know he was bored like out of his skull. Oh, poor guy. I mean, he was bored. So he had his phone with him, and he just, you know, he played. He's got a couple of games that he plays on there. So while Corey and I did our crazy shopping, he had his phone and he played his games, you know. So at least he had something to do. But yeah, he would have cheerfully, I think, would have liked to have been someplace else. But he was a good sport about it. He was a good sport about it. I was a little worried though, because like, you know, because he's a pretty quiet guy anyway. Like, he doesn't say much. And, you know, obviously, you know, this was not in his area of interest. And so I was a little bit worried, you know, because like when Corey and I were talking, I said, you know, because John, you know, he was pretty quiet, you know, and I said, I don't want you to think that he doesn't like you or anything. It's just, you know, that's just how he is. He's very quiet, you know, he's very quiet. So I don't want you to think that, like, you know, he doesn't like you or anything, because it's not the case. And she says, oh, no, it's okay. I understand, you know. So, but yeah, he was a very good sport about the whole thing. So I told him, you know, because like he put up with a lot. He put up with a lot. I said, you know what, because you did this, because you were great about doing this, for the next 3 nights, I will fetch us our wine. Now what we do, like, you know, because we drink, when it's winter time, like, we drink wine in the winter, and then we drink beer, like, in the summertime. So what we do is, like, we take turns each night. Like, you know, one night he goes and gets it for us, the next night I go and get it. But I said, I will fetch the wine for the next 3 nights, because you were such a good sport about this whole thing. So he kind of laughed. He says, hey, Alex, write that down on the calendar. Now, Alex is my dog, one of my dogs, one of my Goldies. So he's like, hey, Alex, write that on the calendar. So I was kind of laughing. I said, hey, I said, you better enjoy it while you can. I said, I don't offer that very often. He says, well, I know that. So I said, you better enjoy that while you can, because that offer doesn't come very often. So I'm just taking the tint of this ultramarine blue and blending in this flower. And I added the darker areas, like where I saw, like where it was, where the shading was. So I'm just kind of taking it and blending it. And I can always add more darker color to it too. But I think I'm going to like how this turns out. So that is kind of my little rant for the day. My internet. But yeah. But I don't know, like, I mean, for a long time it did really good. AT&T's customer service, I will say, it kind of sucks. But you know what, each company, you know, I don't care what company it is, each one of them has their pushy salespeople. I mean, they did good for a long time. But you know, when you start adding like these smart devices and Lady A in there and all this and all that, you know, they really do need to do that upgrade, because otherwise they're going to lose customers. And you know, because like I said, like if it was up to me, I would have switched. Like, I probably would have switched maybe 3 months ago, because like, you know, we have been having these issues for quite a long time. I'm going to go back in with the darker color and just kind of dot some more on there. And then I'm not going to add very much. I'm just going to kind of dot some more on there. Then I'll go back in with the lighter color and do some more blending on it. I'm just going to dot just a little bit on here, because I really do want the shading to show up on this. So yeah, as soon as I can, I'll be back into the live streaming, but I just can't right now, unless I can get it to work over cellular pretty decently. Then if I can, I will do it. So I'm going to probably test it out privately. I'll do a private one and see how it works. And then if it works out well, then I will try to get back into it. Just getting a little bit of fallout. I mean, these are not, like I said, they're not as messy as what the sticks are, but you still do get a little bit of a fallout with it. It's not bad. And I love these PanPastels so much. I love these so much. You guys know that I've wanted these for quite a long time. Okay. And I need to go in and do the stamen, I guess. Probably have to go in and now I could just kind of go over some of this more with pastel. What I could do too, guys, what I think I might do is I'm gonna grab a stump. I'm gonna load up a piece of paper. I'm just kind of dabbing a little bit on some paper, and I'm going to find a stump. I'm going to get a blending stump. So I still feel like the shading isn't showing up as much as I would like. And I feel I want to go in with, I feel that I want to get in there with some smaller details in there. I'm just going to grab a stump. And I don't want to pick the pastel up from the pan directly with the stump, because that will make it dust off. So I'm going to do okay, just do a little bit more here. And I don't think I need very much, you know, considering I've already got several layers on here. I'm just gonna pat some more on there. I just want this shading to show up a little bit more. Okay. So then I'm just going to take my stump and just kind of go over the area here, like so. So when you want to kind of maybe blend like a little bit more detailed like this, grab a stump and that will help. You can just kind of move that pigment down there like so. And I think that's really pretty like that. It's easy to move. You can get into those details right, or those little areas there. And then you can just move that pigment like so. That's really pretty, you guys. That's very pretty. That one needs a little bit more. Soften it up a little bit. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's all we're gonna have time for today, and I'm just gonna wipe off my fingers. Just wipe off my fingers a little bit. So let me zoom you out. Let me zoom you out, and I'll show you what we've got so far. Okay. Well, there's what we got so far. This is what we got done for today. And I will come back and maybe do some of the smaller details maybe off camera, and then we'll come back and finish it up. I still have to do the jewelry. I still have to do her eyes. I got to do her eyebrows and stuff. There's still some things that I still have to finish up here. Maybe a little bit more work on her hair. But this is what we got so far today. Still got to do the jewelry. But this is what we got done so far today. We'll come back and we'll do some more. I'll do some of the littler bits, I think, off camera. That way, you know, that way, okay. Yeah, I'll do some more of the littler bits off camera. That way you guys don't have to look at my big head sitting there all the time. But anyway, here is our picture so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And we'll come back for a part 2. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And ring that notification bell so you can be updated of new happenings. Leave a comment. You all have a great day. And we'll talk to you in the next video. And my hubby's home. Say hi, dear.
Hi, dear. Hi, boys. Hi, boys.
Say hi to my little goldies. He's not going to say hi, goldies. Anyway.
No. I'm playing with them.
Aww. Alright, guys. We'll talk to you in the next video. Have an awesome day. Alright, bye, my little goldies.